Everybody says it's so amazing, so wonderful, and it is such an honor to stand here in front of all of you. And I want to start by saying this book, it is a game changer. It has changed so many people, starting with a wonderful lady who have written this book. This book talks about so many aspects of life that we don't normally think about. It is about a young girl who lost her father when she was very young, yet grew. And out of that loss, she grew. And she even made sure that somebody who was working in their family got to school and led this person to actually start a hospital in their native Dar es Salaam. It is about a woman who had a business that was thriving, and then COVID-19 hit. And what happened? They had to figure it out. They had to figure out if they're going to shut it down. They had to figure out if they're going to let some staff go and reduce salaries. It is about women who have gone through so much. It is about a woman who chose a path. Well, she didn't really choose a path. She was called to a university to follow a path that does not align with her. And she had to leave. And then she had to rediscover herself and choose a path that aligned with her. It was about a distinguished banker that felt the need to lead her career and rediscover herself. This book is about a woman who on the outside was in a brilliant marriage, but it wasn't working. They were not aligned. So she left and she rediscovered herself. This is about a young lady who was working in an organization that she helped build from the bottom up. And just when things were getting good, they found out that she had to rebuild herself. This is a story of a bold young lady who used to love motorcycles. And she actually used to cycle to the office because that gave her the freedom and the love that she felt. And when she was in this office, high impact, at some point, she felt like it lacked integrity. So she quit. This is a story about women who have been through it. I've picked just a little bit of what the ladies here shared with themselves. And now I'll share about what I spoke about. As you've been told by me about grief and rebirthing. I think grief is so misinterpreted. The grief that I particularly spoke about was the loss of a sibling of mine who was a very impactful person in my life. And having to build myself, be there for my family, be there for also the responsibilities at the office, when I was broken. So that this book touches on that. And as I was writing this book, it occurred to me that grief is not just about loss of life of an individual. Sometimes loss of a job, loss of a title, that is also something that we grieve, isn't it? So it made me see, as I was writing this book, I saw what had happened to me when I went through the grief. I saw also how my career had also catapulted and moved into something else. But at some point, it reached a point where I felt there was a misalignment with values and the organization I was working for. So I made a decision to leave. To a lot of people, it did not make sense. To be perfectly honest, even for me, it did not make perfect sense. But what I felt in my heart, in my stomach, went here. I could not stay in that organization. So that was a bold move. That was leaving a place that does not align with you. But then out of that, you rediscover yourself. And as we were speaking earlier with the ladies, and even as I'd spoken in a different interview, what I need to realize, when you want to make a bold claim, you have to understand that it's not a title that defines you. It is not the degrees that define you. Of course, they do add to who you are. They do add, especially the degrees. If you have an education, it will open up your mind, it will add. But the experience you have, before you become a manager, you are you. Before you become a CEO, you are you. What you are, what you have inside of you, is what makes them choose you. Are we together? So I would love for everybody here to take this book, understand each and every one of the women who have written it, understand that everybody is on such a different journey from each other. But as you come into that understanding, I would wish for everyone here to be inspired, to do something that is outside of their comfort zone, with the knowledge that who you are is what makes you, not your title, not your surroundings, and you will have a story to tell other people. And people will look at you and they will be so motivated by you, they will be so encouraged, and they will be so excited to actually sit with you and say, hey, you know what? I might not have written a book, but I did this, and guess what? You discover yourself. So thank you very much. Now, before I finish, I want to just take a chance to say this, and also thank you for seeing us, and thank you for giving us this opportunity. And to all you wonderful ladies, it's so lovely to work with all of you. It's so wonderful to have met you, and I hope that you continue with this friendship outside of this cohort. I want to thank everybody who has taken an opportunity, taken the time to come and support us as we are here. And above all, we cannot forget to thank God. I want to thank God for bringing us all here, for giving us the talent to be able to write, and the willingness, and for also bringing the right people into our paths who will be able to encourage us to bring out the best that is in all of us. Thank you very much.